So what I did, and you guys, unfortunately, you guys won't be able to hear it. So for those of you listening, we don't want to get copyrighted. But I wanted to play 2 videos for Justin because Mini Tuesday was yesterday. Joe Biden had won 4 out of the 6 states, whatever it was. Bernie Sanders a close second. He's still in the race. People are still endorsing Joe Biden. I don't want to talk about politics. I just want to fucking show Justin a funny time. So I put in 2 videos. You guys won't be able to hear it. Obviously,
you can watch it. We'll tell it. And if you guys have seen it, it's just... Like I said, so one of the issues with my previous podcast is every single episode we would break the ice by reacting to a clip.
Yep.
I learned quick that YouTube takes down those videos or takes the volume out.
Exactly.
So we're going to try to avoid all those issues with this podcast if we ever want to monetize or do anything with it.
So go to 3 first.
Okay.
Main podcast 3. Yeah, so go to that scene first. Tomorrow is Super Thursday, Super Tuesday.
Dude, all these people's faces zoomed in.
I think it's gonna. Dude. I think it might play again.
He's like having a stroke.
Yeah, dude. Wait, right here. Tomorrow's Super Thursday, Super Tuesday, and so basically, for those of you that don't hear, Super Tuesday is one of the biggest things in the entire fucking world for politics because it gives you the biggest mindset of who's gonna win.
Yeah.
Joe Biden was that person. So right before he goes, tomorrow's Super Thursday, Super Tuesday, and everyone's just like, what? So you can go to 2 now. So I have one more video for you.
Okay.
It's just funny. It's good
so
time. This is after he wins.
This don't got Super Tuesday for nothing.
So for those of you in audio and in video right now, because you can't hear it, Joe Biden, after winning Super Tuesday or getting...
I had never seen that clip. I heard about it, and they're like, when you think your wife is your sister.
Yeah. They're like, that's why he won Alabama. And, dude, so he wins Super Tuesday, or good majority of the delegates, which in his whole career, he's never won any delegates his entire life.
Yeah.
So he has his wife on the right
of him,
on the right, and his sister on the left. And apparently they had switched spots without him realizing. So he's like, "Oh, my lovely sister on my right, and my wife on the left," and they had switched spots. And he's like, "Oh, sorry, you switched on me, dude." That dude's constantly having a brain aneurysm, but. I will say I stayed in my car because I enjoy kind of listening to politics now. It's a huge year for politics.
It's so weird. It's so weird because I don't know if we've grown up.
Maybe
like we've gotten older.
Because as a younger,
then,
you're like, who cares, dude? Why is it going to affect me?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you get older, and then you're like, are we in such a climate in politics where you can't not pay attention to it because it's,
correct
because there's the whole Trump administration. There's a whole thing with Bernie and the battle and the clash of the Titans with Bernie and Biden and everyone bashing each other and what's gonna happen between the red versus blue. And it's it's so interesting.
Yeah, it
but
is.
I don't know if it's because
it's like
Trump,
a debate on stage, and you just you look up the politics of whatever politician, and then you look up how these people talk or whatever it may be, and things interest you, and
everyone blows up every little thing. And I think
with social media now, it's going to look at those clips. I literally found them in 2 seconds and threw them on the podcast, and it's they had time to go in and zoom in on people's faces and give reactions.
And I think with the Trump, everyone just the fact that a reality star / businessman became president with no political background.
Nope.
I don't know.
Besides identifying himself as Republican.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I don't know.
He could have ran as independent, and it might have.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if that perks up people's eyes and ears, or I guess even before with Obama with having first black president or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if half black or isn't he mixed?
Just
I don't know.
First black president.
First black president, let's say.
Let's say he's not black. He's just not African American. Donald Trump, first Asian president.
But I don't know if Hillary won, will we be paying attention as much? You know what I mean? It's
I don't know.
Are we in a climate politically where it's so outlandish that we're paying attention now, or were we just so young and naive that we weren't paying attention to politics?
I don't
we're like,
know,
it's not
dude.
gonna affect us.
I think with the
And we might still have the perspective of who cares? It's not going to affect us.
Sure.
But like to people that don't vote. But then at the same fashion, it's like, how do you not how do you not hear it like in your day-to-day conversation?
Sure.
Because
I hear it
even
all
if you don't want
the
to talk
time.
about
Yep.
even if you don't want to talk about it,
someone's
going to
talk about it. Yep.
So
all the time, man. Yeah, I think we're in a climate, and it's weird with a big social media, with an acceptance of the LGBTQ community and race equality being crucial, maybe now more than
and
ever.
women's rights
and women's
being like
rights.
a big raise.
Look
and-
at the candidates. I mean, we had the governor or senator from Mass. He was running. He's an African American. We had Andrew Yang running. He's an Asian American.
Yeah.
We have.
Pete,
Pete Buttigieg
yeah.
is probably, I don't know, one of the first openly out gay candidates
Yeah.
running. And then
And
you
then
have
Warren, and
you have
then Hillary
Elizabeth
Clinton.
Warren,
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton from the previous year.
Yeah.
So we're just in a climate of like acceptance where people are going, and there is backlash to it. And I think as we move forward, I mean, it's going to be interesting for us because back in the day it was like
This
old,
white guy against
old,
that white
this
guy.
white
Yeah.
guy, that
Ooh,
white
this-
guy, this
yeah.
white guy against that white old,
Yeah.
old white guy.
And now
So
it's like
now
it seems like
it's-
a little bit more diverse. And you even heard it when Andrew Yang was speaking in front of everyone, where he was saying that he was the only diverse person, like
Yeah.
that's running right now that has a chance. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of write-ins that like don't even have a millionth of a percent,
Yeah.
but like he was one of the few that were still like in the running.
Yeah, it's
So,
crazy, dude.
It's so, and I never felt like I was ever gonna, because one of the things I always say, and I don't know what I mean anymore when I say it, is we grew up in Canada, and
Yeah.
like it was a point where I was saying I grew up in Canada most of my life, like early when we moved in and moved to the States, and then it was and then when you turn about 21, because I lived in Canada up to when I was 10 years old.
Sure.
And then you were younger. You were 6 years old.
6
when we
years
moved.
old, yeah.
So like when I was like 21, I was like, oh, like I don't care about politics. Like
No.
I grew up in Canada half my life. Like it's never. I've felt disconnected just because I didn't grow up in a government. And I think half of it is if you're not in U.S. government classes and history classes, and then the only
Yes.
thing you know is what's being taught you from middle school on,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's a topic that you don't care about, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
or not care about, but it's like you're indifferent about it because you're disconnected from it.
Yes.
So
that's how I felt going into like half my life. I was
Yeah.
taking American government courses and U.S. history and things like that, and I'm like, I really don't give a fuck. And now from last election to this election, and I think elections onward, I think I'm gonna hold a new eye to it, which is weird because it's something that, like you, I never thought I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, very odd.
It's very odd, and it's funny because even from the outside looking in, there's other countries are looking at us,
Yep.
and they're like picking apart every move.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They're picking apart everything we do, and it's like, you stupid Americans, you guys are doing this. Why are you doing this?